Ms. I, host Eric, and this lady behind me is my beautiful and beloved wife, Rachel. You may remember her from such live streams as All the Time. I don't know, maybe you don't remember her. Maybe you don't even remember me. Maybe this is your first time. If that's the case, welcome, first timer. I think you're going to find it unspeakably delightful around here. Incommunicably delightful. So anyway, Rachel and I are watching a little baseball, or as the Japanese call it, baseball. Hello, Acacia. Hello, Winston-Salem. And the Athletics are sadly losing by a score of 7-1 in the fifth inning. It kind of takes the sheen off the shine off of the baseball game when your team's losing 7-1.
Yeah.
I was planning earlier on starting a live stream. At the same time, I started watching the baseball game basically, but I thought, I feel like just enjoying the baseball game with the volume up and normal talking sound. But once we fell behind 7-0, it was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Might as well just live stream. I still watch the game in the background. Now it's 7-1. Rooker hit a home run with his baseball bat. In case you weren't clear on that. Not with his fist. That would be pretty impressive if he could do that. But double play. Oh, I didn't even need a double play because there were 2 outs already. Well, Athletics, you're not thrilling me in this first game of the second half of the season, first post All-Star break game. But, hope springs eternal. JT Gann is on the mound. Hi there. Cirillo Rodriguez. Cirillo. Yes, I did put some pollen this afternoon. I poured 2 bags of cement and concrete.
Yeah.
And we had to go into town to get the concrete, of course, first.
Yeah.
While we were there, we went to the store, got a few things from the supermarket, and we also went and got some. Barbecue sandwiches for lunch. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to being done with the concreting so that I can move on to the mortar stage. I'm going to make mortar that I'll use to attach the stones that I'm going to attach to the concrete. But I'm coming to the end of the concreting phase, which is good. We've been working on it for quite a while. We'll go look at it in a little while. We'll see all the progress that I'm making. Eric, what's the score of the Athletics game? It's 7-1, Putty Cat, in favor of the Cleveland Guardians, unfortunately. But, that's baseball. Usually, at least once a season, a team has a huge comeback, coming back from 6 rounds or something is not unheard of. It's the 5th inning. JP Sears got roughed up a bit He was responsible for all 7 runs. They left him in, which I get. It's like Kotze didn't want to start wearing out the bullpen already in the second half of the season. Can you see the cat? Sure, you can see the cat. Let me just have to take. Oh, now it's 8-1. 8-1. You see he's picked 8th in the Big Ten for the 2025 football season. Well, we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I know we have the top recruiting class, so we'll see how much productivity we get from incoming freshmen.
They scored again?
Yeah, it's 8-1 now. So, like I said, in a little while, we'll go outside and take a look at it. But I want to pull some balls first. And I'm currently playing this poker game. Let's see. $200. You're welcome. Oh, you gave me an imaginary $200? Rachel hates the A's, but she wanted to keep it a secret. I don't think that's true. R. Ortega. R. Ortega. The San Francisco treat. Luke OPP. I got fired from my job at the sperm bank. My boss didn't like me saying, "Get a load of this guy," whenever someone walked in the door. That's silly. Oh, that's a silly joke. We're going to get out of this inning. Come on, JT Ken. Do your job. I'm tired of playing poker already. The land. The Cleveland Guardians have on their jerseys.
That's what I don't like it.
The land.
The land.
I mean, it does have the word land in it.
Oh, I see.
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
But still, no. The land. That's silly. Hello, Kim. I think I might still be a treat in San Francisco. San Farn. I like it. The most beautiful land in the country is Cleveland. That's what Cleveland would have you believe, but I believe the children are our future. A Corona non-alcoholic is so good. It's like a punch to the face with flavor. Hi, Billy from Germany. Welcome to California, America. Mariposa County. There's a real cloggy froggy. It likes to clog like I'm drinking up grog. Rachel's not going to go clubbing with the neighbors this weekend. We did, however, have clubbing at our house with the neighbor last night. She came over. We put on music. She danced. She and Rachel danced. We chatted. She drank. Like, it's nice when other people drink. I guess makes for more of a party feeling environment or something. Well, we got another base runner. Denzel Clark got on. That's good. Maybe this is the inning. We throw up 7 and tie it up. Do you guys live the lifestyle? What's the lifestyle? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
The lifestyle? No.
Yeah. Is this a replay? Oh, it's a replay. Okay. Do we live the lifestyle? I mean, no, I don't want to Google it. If you want me to understand and explain what you mean, is this like some sort of swinger lifestyle? Then no, we don't do that. We are normal, old-fashioned, monogamous, happily married couple.
Yeah.
I'm not repping any gang, though. Well, except for the Fun Friends gang, of course. Which is more like a club than a gang. I don't know, Channel Teardown. Maybe you are. Maybe you're the famous one. Or maybe it's R. Ortega. Could even be Kim. You're settled in your hotel room for the evening, huh? Well, good for you, Kim. You just put some Talking with Famous People on, smoke a few bowls, and relax. Go outside to smoke your bowls, or you'll have to pay some sort of security deposit cost for the hotel. You don't want that. Two and 0. Good job. Good eye, Jacob Wilson. It's your time to shine. No benefits, just Fun Friends gang is basically what we do is we're nice to each other and have fun activities like playing frisbee. Well, it's legal wherever you are in the U.S., provided you don't get caught. However, it's also, you're never going to get away with smoking it in your hotel room. Jacob Wilson. Yes, Shay Langolier is playing tonight. Yeah, the Fun Friends gang might play Candyland. Sure, that's a possibility.
Yeah, that is a possibility.
We might play Chutes and Ladders. If you're not afraid of heights and sliding. Technically, it's a bed and breakfast. It has a lovely view of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it, Kim. But the room itself is very Victorian. Rachel and I stayed at a historic place in Oregon.
Yeah, we did.
It was haunted. Nice job, Nick Kurtz. That'll score a run. I run a shower and put towels below the door when I'm smoking in a motel. Do you? Does that work? I just go sit in the car outside.
Yeah.
We bring the bong with us. W comment removed? I don't even see it. I'm on top chat. Hold on. From my E and TP series days. Yeah, I don't make a whole lot of videos about being an ENTP. Yeah, you could remove that comment. That's fine, Winston's mom. We don't necessarily need that one. Yes, that's my wife. I'm not necessarily, I don't, even though the constitutional issue might seem equivalent, I don't think it is, and I'm not nearly as pleased with the reduction of the EPA as I am with the elimination of the Department of Education, which is just ridiculous. Come on, Ruger. I mean, pollution is very much, I think, reasonably covered by interstate commerce. But, you know, I don't want to argue about that kind of stuff. And it's also, I'm also not sure. I'd have to be more up to date with the specific constitutional issues, but I'm not necessarily sure it's a good thing when the Supreme Court gives a president more autocratic power. They give the presidency that power. It's not just that president, you know? Yes, she is. I don't know. Pretty cat. I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to California tax law. WNKD says, "Have a nice day, King." Thanks, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I just attained the kinghood recently. My mother, Queen Elizabeth, died. That's how I became king.
Oh.
Yeah. She was queen for a long time. But then she died. Of murder. Of murder most foul. No, I didn't murder her. I'm not famous, no. I'm talking with famous people such as R. Ortega, Kim, Puttycat, all of you guys. Puttycat, why must you want to drag me into politics all the time? I don't want to think about it. What is this video called anyway? Will Utopia ever be or something like that? Yes, you are famous. Rachel's famous too, you know, but she's more really the one that's talking with the famous people than she is the famous people, which are you people that we're talking with, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm just a viewer.
we're just like hosts, like Carson Daly.
Yeah, like Carson Daly.
Any place the sun shines down, there is Utopia. Wherever we hear a child's laugh, there is Utopia. You only relate with the other famous folks, huh? If you had your druthers, how would you advise mid-cap regional banks hedge against raising delinquency rates based on the arduous capital reserve requirements? Oh. I have no idea. That's one of the more interestingly specific questions I've ever been asked. But I would say you want to offer to buy the homes of people before when you think they're going to be delinquent. Offer to buy their homes at a little bit less than market rate, and then the bank can just hold on to it until economics improve. Because presumably the bank's liability lies primarily with home loans, given the designation of the bank as mid-regional level. Mid-cap regional banks. Yeah. Where are you from, Kim? Says Jim Pasha. Kim's from America, okay? I think I should change my name because it always sounds funny to me when someone repeats it. No, I didn't serve the neighbor a jive turkey last night, but I did serve the neighbor a gin and cranberry, which was pretty fine, I'm imagining. She
was drinking
Yeah, she seemed to like it fine. Not me, Putty Cat. I was created not by my parents' tawdry behavior with each other, but instead with a little bit of moonbeams, a little bit of dewdrops, and a little bit of fairy dust. That's how I was made. She's Mrs. Kim, which is spelled Myah. All right, let's go outside now for a little bit. The Athletics have done all they can to make me uninterested in this game. Sorry, uninterested in this game. Oh, man, there's a double by the Guardians at batsman. Well, doesn't look like it's going to get any better. Guess we might as well go outside and get another beverage. We'll go outside and we will together figure out what really is the true meaning of Christmas. You say it's Jesus, but I say not so fast. Hold on, let me try to kill this fly. Damn it. Too late now. Okay. We're outside. I've got all that done today. But of course, I've got plenty more cementing, concreting to do. And then I got to go over the concrete with mortar and put the rocks in a mosaic-esque coverage before I even put any water in there. I'll connect those with the mortar, but I'll also have like some caulking and sealant for any spots that seem a little leak possibilities or something. You played peekaboo with a toddler. Kim, I'm sorry, you're too old for that. That's a game for little kids, okay? You should have figured out this by the reality that in order to play it, you had to play it with a toddler. Grow up. That's what I like to tell people all the time. You need to grow up. You're being immature. And nothing's worse than that. I hate it when people are immature. You're going to grow down. Okay, that sounds fun. Did you say caulk? Yes, I did. Yes, you have to smoke a cigarette too. That's right, R. Ortega. Utopia implies perfection. I think it's a good target. It's not cheap. Well, yeah, I mean, we would never even agree on what comprises Utopia. So, Sears got shelled. Pretty cat. Have I met Porter? You made his clothing too. Are you talking about uh, Porter Churchill Murphy, the baby? I'm familiar with him. Yes, the baby pickup artist. Okay, so what am I getting? Benjamin buttoning out of spite. I hate you so much that I'm going to age backward. Okay. I got these things that I wanted to get. So now we can come back here. You might say, but it's why? Why did you get those things? I got that Alanism wrong. It's finish with an orgasm. Oh. Oh, yes, I did make Porter's clothing. Porter's a welcome addition to the family, I think. Firuz Kohi. Hello. This view feels like you're on shoulders. Hi, Ike. I wanted to ask you, which day works best for you? I think it's the 10th, 11th, or 12th of August for an athletics game. If any of those. It's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Could be the 11th, 12th, or 13th. I think it's 10th, 11th, 12th. I don't know if you recall, but we talked earlier about um, going to the athletics game. Okay, Kim. You're overly medicated, says Earl Sanders. Well, take less medication. Did you know I am so proud to be Iranian? Wow, good for you, Faraz. I'm proud of your pride. Being so proud, you must participate in Pride Month. You get the rainbow flag and everything for Pride Month. 11 is a good number. Okay. When I go back inside, I'll see what day that is, whether I have the dates right. All right, so plan for that August 11th. I'll get the tickets, and then you can meet us at the baseball park. Or we could meet before the game for dinner or something, too. Whatever you feel like. Sweeping up some of this crap because I'm tired of having to, like, every time I go in the house this way, I've got shit on the bottom of my shoes. I'm just tired of it. I've had enough, I tell you. I don't want to take no more. Sometimes a man reaches limits. I'm just a raisin in the sun. You know? Sometimes when you're just a raisin in the sun, you can't take no more. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. That's pretty good. That's some pretty good sweepage. If you're into that sort of thing. Okay. Sticks here. Okay. All right, that's good. That's good enough for now. Doesn't it look nice? As the kids would say, Eric, I love the fit. I don't know what that means, but thank you. All right, so I've swept-ish the patio. I could squirt it off. Probably be a good idea. Yeah, squirt it off, baby. Squirt it off hard. Well, I will squirt it off. I'm not sure how hard I'm going to squirt it off. Okay. Now we're cooking with biscuits. Scolded for what? Who got scolded for what? Did I scold anybody? I don't think so. So far, I believe it's been a scold-free live stream. It looks a lot nicer now. Finally, I can breathe again. It's like when things are messy and then I clean them, I just feel like, ah, finally, I can breathe again. I will, Ortega. I'll go inside and do that. Politically incorrect copy says America first and Israel last. Well, who's directly in between the two? Me, myself, and I only get angry when people are unreasonable and I don't like them. Did they? Are unreasonable or I don't like them, but usually because I don't like them on FI grounds. Huh. Money what? Well, money's between America and Israel. Is that the halfway point of the journey? That's how I meant the question. Well, you know, money is a good thing. We all want money. Except maybe communists. They want money too, though. So I see someone who focuses on nitpicky stuff and scolds others. It's highly annoying. I don't know what the rave is about mushroom coffee, but you're not going to catch me drinking it because mushrooms are gross. That's right. Gross is the answer. These plants are looking healthy, happy, and full of vigor. As they enter into the budding stages. A little bit at a time. This one down here started bud first. Nice outside right now. The air is really soft feeling. Probably 73 degrees, I would guess. $73 degrees and 1,100 bees. Maybe it's warmer than that. Maybe it's 76 degrees. No, maybe it's 75 degrees. I'll go ahead and check what the computer says, and we'll resolve this question. Well, politically incorrect coffee. That certainly is a politically incorrect thing to say. Were Marx and Lenin Jewish? The only thing is, that's not relevant anyway, but what is relevant is that Marx was clearly had a very weak relationship with introverted thinking. Just his fallacious reification nonsense is obviously not not going to lead to anything good. Can get very ghetto quick if I'm fed up. Like in your face ghetto. Get your ass kicked type ghetto. How'd you be able to live this lifestyle, Eric, if you don't mind I'm asking? Oh, I inheritance. I didn't. This isn't the result of my lifetime of hard work or anything. Uh, yeah. And Rachel and I, for the first couple of years of our relationship, or first few years, I'm not sure how long exactly, uh, I was living, we were both living at my dad's house, helping with my mom who had Alzheimer's. And then she got put into a nursing home, and then my parents died. And bada bing, bada boom, here we are. And, it was rather a traumatic sequence of events, actually, because of the way my dad died. But, it took me a couple years to process all that stuff, but now I've processed it. I feel better. It's good to be peaceful, but it's hard sometimes, especially living in a ghetto. Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's easy for me to be peaceful usually because, you know, I'm playing the game on easy mode. But it certainly wasn't like that for the few years before we moved up here. It was very difficult. Oh, this Heineken tastes good. The fog of grief lifts and suddenly utopia just might be. I mean, I may, I have no complaints, obviously, about my life whatsoever. But I don't mean utopia just for me. I mean it in kind of a society wide sense. Name your pet duck, please. All right. Um, uh, Ethel. This one has no alcohol in it, though. I name your duck Ethel. What do you think? Is it a girl duck? Hopefully, it's a girl duck. Otherwise, it might grow up with a complex because it's got a girl's name. I mean, the thing is, communism's communism. It's just the idea that uh, centralized decision making is better than free markets, And it's the implicit acceptance of violence to enforce that unnatural reality. Old name, old lady. Ethel. Middle name Gladys. Communism, or and all its variants, socialism, democracy, or whatever you want to call it, that have the basic principle that economic inequities ought to be resolved by centralized ownership of stuff, you know? It's just not true. It's what you call bullshit. It will never be an instance where a dictated economic plan for everybody else is going to be better than letting them make their own plans. Bonjour, bonjour, Jules. I used to drink them when I was driving. I used to drink them when I was driving, not bad for an alcoholic, non-alcoholic, yeah. Right, well, that's the bottom line, is that it's a fantasy of control. That somehow, if you have the right people with the right intentions in charge, that you can control reality directly for the benefit of all. But that's not the case, because it's implicitly a harm to everybody when you try to seize control of their lives. Hi, Cameron Moto. How you doing? Nice to see you. Comment ça va famille? I don't know what that means. Speedy migraine. Oh. Hi, Holland. Welcome to California, United States. It is quite lovely right now. The skeets are starting to come out a little bit, and I don't know if you have them in Holland, but if you do, I'm sure you feel the same way about mosquitoes as I do. Namely, get out of here, mosquitoes. Holland, also called the Netherlands, or Holland is a part of the Netherlands. And the soccer team wears orange. All right, I will, Putty Cat. Thank you for the heads up there. Yeah, it's nice back here. It's really nice. I mean, most of this property down here is a hill that I just never go on because it's steep, you know. But it's nice to look at. Okay. Pond I'm making there. Don't worry, it's not gonna look so bad when it's done. I'm gonna put some kind of rocks that are on this patio here on top of that. I got a bunch of them. I got a bunch more out in the wilderness if I need them. So yeah, it's pretty lovely. I feel extremely fortunate. These are not naturally growing here, actually, believe it or not. I had to plant those. The secret is getting too drunk to care about bugs biting you. Well, I don't drink alcohol anymore. So you don't really go after me too much. There are fewer mosquitoes than you'd think, you know? That's one thing about right now. This is the gully next to the house. And you know, it's coming up around sunset time. Those branches look perfect for fly swatting. I have an actual fly swatter. I come from a place where fly swatter technology has already been achieved, aka not Africa. Bugs haven't been too bad in Colorado either. Yeah, I mean, they were, I think they were a little worse a little earlier in the summer when when the most recent rain it was a little bit more recent, you know. But it stayed quite green so far, all the way into the middle of July. I mean, obviously the hill grass you can see there is kind of green and brown. You know, it's browning up, but overall, there's lots of things other than grass that are still very green. And even though it's the middle of July, the fire danger sign is only set to high instead of, it could be very high or extreme, which, you know, they tend to put it up towards those ones when it gets really hot and dry. One of those, took some B vitamins earlier. You can feel the difference. No, I'm not in Oregon. I'm in California. Eric, did you see the CEO of Astronomer get busted with his CHRO at the Coldplay concert? No. Oh, you mean like they were having an affair or something, or what? I'm in California near Yosemite. The kitty eating emoji is so cute. That one and the Tiffany one are from. Oh yeah, it is. It is TI. It is AI generated Tiffany. But Acacia is the one who had the AI generated. What a silly girl. What do you want? What are you doing? You just want to say hi to Daddy? You're in Cascadia, Oregon, huh? Cool. R. Ortega says Colorado's been having high temperatures the past month. Fire danger is getting high. Um, Apparently we're like the only part of the country that's been relatively cool the past few weeks, months maybe. Well, here it is. We've got these plants here. There's a few plants kind of all smushed together around here, so you can't really tell them distinctly. This one is the tallest one. And this one is the next tallest one. And down here, where they get a little bit less sun, we got two decent sized ones. And I got this little baby one here. It just never grew very much. It had a rough childhood. It got beaten up by hail a lot when I put it in the ground. Well, the only one that's really budding out, like obviously budding, is this one. You can see this one's budding. This one is very sativa-y looking. I don't know which one's which, you know, but this has these long, thin leaves. So we'll find out what it is. See you later, Channel Teardown. Yeah, I just put some tomato fertilizer on them. Water them every day, that's it. Hashtag, does this do something when you send a message? Does it mean something? It means this isn't just a thing, it's a category of thing. It's part of hashtag Armageddon. Hashtag Utopia. Things aren't that terrible now, you know. MILF Crotch 69. That's quite a name you got there. I guess you're fond of MILF Crotch. Get away. Hashtag get away, mosquitoes. Hashtag Bob Weir for president. I don't know what his politics are. I know he makes terrible music. If Milk Crotch, no, that's MILF Crotch. Winston's mom. MILF. MILF. MILF Crotch 69. If it were to marry Firecrotch, they'd be MILF Firecrotch 69 0, I guess, because Firecrotch doesn't have a number. Someone just unexpectedly bought me a couple of forks of watermelon, and it was refreshing. Yes, I've smoked crack before. One night, when I was like 19, maybe, and my friend Dave, he lived in this shitty apartment in the shitty part of Pasadena, and his neighbor wanted to do crack. We did it. I, you know, some of those things where the short-lived high, and then you want to go get more. I ended up like the next day with some kind of weird like pneumonia bronchitis thing, thrashed my lungs. I was stuck in Santa Cruz for a month. There was a lot of tweakers. I went to school in Santa Cruz. Tweakers are not the same thing as people who smoke crack, though. No, I wasn't drunk. Hey, Mom, still at Johnny's house. All good. Glad to hear it, William. Me and Fly Guy went snorkeling today. It was fun. Glad to hear it. Hope you saw a lot of sea creatures. Hashtag ocean life. God damn it, Eric. I don't really smoke often, but seeing you light up, I had to step outside. Well, get to enjoy it and say to yourself, this is life. This is the living of it right here. What alter ego name would you choose, Winston's mom? Asked Cam Moto. I mean, isn't Winston's mom her alter ego name? Because in case you didn't know, that's actually not her birth name, Cameron. Winston's mom isn't. After I finish this cigarette, we're going to go back inside and I'm going to finish my lunch, which I got earlier. If anyone wants an invite to Johnny's house, yeah, well, William, sounds like Johnny has got lots of fun stuff, so this guy right here. I would like to get from my local connect here. I would like to get acid. All right. I'll go back in and see what's going on. I wonder what Rachel's doing. Brewed in Holland. For some reason, I thought this was German beer. Heineken. Just never looked that closely at it before. Linda Ronstadt, Stevie Nicks, and one more of your choice from this category. Um, Olivia Newton-John. Can I pick that? Is she in that category? You're the tired? Is that French for tired? Yours is Assmaster666, huh? That's quite a name. Mine's Wholesome Chat. You're the tired. I like that. I don't blame you for being the tired. I'm surprised you didn't sleep all day. I'm not super low awake, so. Utopia is a great idea, though. Is it? I mean, the thing is, I think as a thought experiment, the point is that we'd never agree on what comprises utopia. So everybody, I'm sure, would say, I would like a better standard of living, like everyone's rights to be respected. 8-4 in the ninth inning, huh? Well, we've come back a little bit. I don't know how we did it, but Langoliers dinks it. Oh, that guy falls down. That's gonna be a double. Oh, he's safe. 8-5. Shea Langoliers is on second base. Well, well, well. What have we here? The Cleveland Guardians. They got a little too big for their britches, and now they're suffering the consequences. Did Kurtz hit a home run or something? Let's see. Let's go, Kurtzy. Oh, I just put it here. Fine. All right, so they're pulling that picture after Langoliers gets that hit, I think. Yes, they did. They pulled that picture. Okay, so now we've got Emmanuel Clace come on as the closer. Where did you leave my glasses? I had them a second ago. Here they are. Andujar is up to bat, or Andujar. I see the score. It's 8-5. Andujar is up to bat, and Langoliers is on second. Hopefully, Andujar will hit a 2-run home run here, make it 8-7. I'm a little behind real time, so don't tell me anything. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm going to eat the rest of my lunch. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my eating mouth for that tonight. Andujar smacks a double into the corner. That's going to score Langoliers 8-6. Andujar is now on second. Still only one out in the ninth inning. So, well, 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 what have we here? Exciting stuff. All right, let me get my lunch. I'm hungry. I guess this one's mine. I guess Rachel already ate hers. Let's go, Max Muncie. Don't be a schmack schmuncie. These are good JoJo potatoes. Why are they called JoJo potatoes? I don't know. Presumably somebody named JoJo invented them. Max Muncie fighting off pitches to stay alive. No, not the Dodgers Max Muncie, a different Max Muncie. The Athletics Max Muncie. This sandwich is as good as an angel in heaven. Max Muncie, Max Muncie. Why do you want to be a Smash Muncie? You struck out. Uh-oh. Gio Urshela's up to bat. I don't have a lot of faith in Gio Urshela. Oh yeah, you and Max Muncie of the Athletics? No, you must be talking about the other Max Muncie. Okay, different Max Muncie you're talking about. Well, I mean, it is the title. Tut says, maybe Utopia is achievable on an individual basis, but impossible as a collective effort. Interesting thought. Yeah. I mean, I think we moved ever closer to Utopia as we've technologically advanced and the bottom of the standard of living has gone up. It's true that we've had increases in wealth gap and stuff like that. But until fairly recently, your standard of working poor was still very, very high compared to, say, somebody who's more affluent from a previous time, you know? Now in America, anyway, we see a lot more homelessness, a lot more economic distress. But we lost 8-6. God damn it. Let me pull up the shot on the big screen now. Sevy's pitching tomorrow. Severino's got a 2-11 record and he's got a 5.16 ERA. Why do we go out and pay money to get you as this free agent if you were just gonna stink that much? I don't know. There's no explaining it. Where my girl at? She's in bed. I plan to join her relatively soon. Alright, cool, Ortega. We're not gonna be instantaneous here. I'm gonna fuck around for a bit on the stream before I go back to bed, but I could use to catch up on some sleep. I use this pocket, yeah. Rachel's NI is so good. It's like she doesn't always like buy me random shit, which is good. But what she does buy me is perfect. These shirts that she got me are absolutely perfect. They fit perfectly. The pocket's perfect. No, I'm not doing that putty cup. Not tonight. That port of entry is currently experiencing a red tide. I know, well, yeah, Athletics seem to like to pick up failed Yankees, or Yankees past their prime or whatever. But it's not easy being an Athletics fan, okay? Especially when you're as big an Athletics fan as I am. I have not been this reliable at watching baseball games since that horrible season that I was a huge Giants fan when I was in college in Santa Cruz, way back in the day. It was the last season before they implemented the wild card. The Giants had like 106 wins or something, and lost on the last day of the season, the pennant race to the Braves when the Dodgers beat the Giants last game of the season. It's horrible. I was very invested in that season, but that team was doing really well. I'm also super invested in this team. I watch every single game, and they don't have a good record. They're now 17 games under 500, and either 16 or 17 games back in the AL West. Well, good for you, Show Me You. Good for you. Oh, it was a busy day. I got a fair amount of stuff done. No offense, but Rachel was the reason I found this channel because the way she speaks in her face, of course, but I found Jim and Eric. No offense taken. Thank you, Ortega. You're not the only person who found the channel when Rachel was streaming. I was like, I like that when I hear that, like. I think she does a great job of it. think we need to play a little after dinner music. Well, first I probably should pull some bar rips though. Just to be safe. Just to be on the safe side. Yo, Gramps, you still clapping booty cheeks? Yeah, like it basically sounds like a standing ovation from a large crowd of people in my bedroom. That's how much clapping of cheeks I do. No, show me D, I don't. My family in San Jose and visiting often made me love the Bay in California. Well, we live in the mountains now, and it's 3 hours away from the Bay Area. We're not anywhere close to the ocean. We're smack in the middle. Smack in the middle, east west, smack in the middle, north south of California. Clifford, I'm drinking non alcoholic beer. I just finished one. Could get another one, but I could get something else to drink too. Could maybe go for a water, or I can make a pot of coffee. I'm not an old man because I don't start statements like, back in my day. Wow. Back in my day, it didn't matter if you started statements like that. I'm sorry, but I don't approve of the way that young people are doing things these days. With their internet Gmail and OnlyFans. It's scandalous, I say. I'm just a old man. New things frighten me. Back in my day, we listened to swing music down at the conservatory. Oh, those were the days. Kind of crazy to think that Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are still alive. Because they were in their 20s doing their Beatles thing in early 60s. Maybe mid 60s, I'm not exactly sure. They had, like, the Beatles had finished the Beatles' career by the time I was born. Before I was born. They'd had their whole Beatles career before I was born. And then Paul McCartney and Ringo, they lived another forever. They're still both alive. Right, pretty crazy, huh? If you think about it. You know who else is still alive? Rod Stewart. And apparently performing music. And you know who else is still alive and has a show at the Flamingo in Vegas? Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton is still alive. Crazy, huh? I'm Catherine Hepburn, and no, you may not come to dinner. My friend said, congratulations on your new job. How did you get it? I replied, the same way the Virgin Mary got Jesus. He said, a miracle? I said, no, sex that I can't tell anyone about. Well, Putty Cat, it sounds like you got a legitimate complaint to bring up with the Human Resources Department. Oh, I missed. I missed like a big misser. Hashtag just told us about it. Wayne Newton appeared on the I Love Lucy show as a young boy singer. He's got to be around 100 now. He's 83. Well, they've got these very airbrushed pictures of him around a theater inside the Flamingo. He tried hitting on my mom, Beverly D'Angelo. Who's Beverly D'Angelo? I like the last name D'Angelo though. Ringo's 85. I mean, they always make you cough, right? They're super coffee. It's like somehow by being ground up and rolled and then put in some kind of a package, they add 40% caffeine to you. I'd say a pre-roll is at least 40% more cough intensive than breaking up buds and rolling your own joint. Don't you think so? Seems that way. And Rachel has got the tender lungs of a young woman. I'm 54. Rachel's 40. She has Al Pacino's babies. D'Angelo does. Because, Tiffany has named her horse D'Angelo Kevin. Because it's a fancy racehorse name. Hi, darling. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I just went out there to get some cigarettes from the car.
Oh,
I'm waiting for this coffee to brew. It's fresh coffee brewing if you want a cup.
thanks.
Beverly D'Angelo starred as the wife in the Vacation movies? Oh, cool. I know who she is. Anton and Olivia Pacino are Beverly D'Angelo's kids. Hi, Sean, independent vomiter. They're trying to tell me that Rusty wasn't really Beverly D'Angelo's kid. A watched pot of coffee never fills up. It's like I always feel very conflicted with a situation like this. I could grab this first cup of coffee, but then I'm going to mess up the overall strength of the pot, because you get your extra strong part at the beginning, you take that away, then you get the rest of it's going to be too weak. So you really should just kind of let it play out. How's 54 treating you? Give me some wisdom from the past 10 years. It's been a very eventful 10 years. The last 10 years starts with, me at this job I had as the director of a debate school. goes through and at the time I was married to my second wife. I go through the end of that marriage, the end of that job on bad terms with that boss, starting my own business, the end of that business, my relationship with my next girlfriend, Kimberly, who was very toxic, the end of that relationship, moving back in with my dad to help with my mom, starting a relationship with Rachel, my dad pianoing himself, and my mom dying of Alzheimer's disease, and us selling the family home and moving up here to Mariposa, and now having this life here. So it's like it couldn't be a more eventful conceivable 10 years. Like everything has gone crazy. So what wisdom do I have from the past 10 years? Um, I mean, to the extent that you can, try to appreciate the, the moments, the quiet moments that aren't where you're not stressed out, freaked out, suffering, whatever. Because there's lots of those things. I guess, I mean, how do you personally, as a human man, how do I do what? How do I be? I mean, I don't feel like I have it figured out at all. Because of my personality type, at least in somewhat because of that, I I don't wake up every morning with a plan. If I have to do something, I know about that, and I'll plan around that. But sounds like he's been drinking scotch again. No, I don't drink alcohol. I'm actually making a pot of coffee right now. I haven't had any alcohol in over 10 years. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like I have. I bet these are clean. Are they? Yes, these are clean. Green light means clean. I'll use this cup. So, I think that what there is as far as advice in life is number one, advice needs to be responsive to who you are and what your specific deficit areas are. So, I've learned hard lessons by making certain kinds of mistakes. It's easy for me to say you should avoid making these same kinds of mistakes, but unless you're the same personality type as me, you're not likely to have the same problem areas. In fact, that might be an area where you should keep doing exactly the same thing you're doing. So it's risky to give people advice. I don't tend to over-prescribe in my talk, my words. As I say, I don't do a lot of prescriptive statements. You should do this, you should do that. I will say that from my own experience, I suffer when I fail to be righteous or something. I'll suffer for years and years after thinking about it. So, you know, be cautious with people and such. But, I don't know, maybe you're super cautious already. And I guess if I had one little slogany thing to tell you that I think is everybody kind of needs to hear, there's nothing wrong with you. Suffering is just part of living. So famous? I'm not famous. I talk with famous people. Like you, for example. That's what the difference between the sentence talking with famous people and talking because I'm a famous person. Those are two different sentences. They mean different things. Uh-oh, Superfly. Did you get timed out? Did you get a little frustrated? Suffering is a part of living, but it's not an omnipresent part of living. I think that in a healthy person, a certain amount of suffering may link to greater empathy slash sympathy slash care with people's feelings or whatever. But I could be projecting my own experience. I mean, I am projecting my own experience, but I think it might universalize anyway. Sleigh bells ring, hello Mina, in the lane, fatal exception. I said it already, Mina don't be greedy. I'm walking in a winter wonderland. You can meow the meagy and meow meow. And you can meow the meagy meow meow meow. And you can meow the meow 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 meow. But you could meow the meow when I'm in town. Let's see here. Amy. I don't have my glasses. Amy, somebody says, you Jack. I'm not Jack, I'm Eric. Hi, G. I'm that Eric. The Eric. You know, Eric. Sometimes called the man of the decade. A lot of people call me that. So I'm the man of the decade between 2020 and 2030. And I'm the front runner for man of the decade for the upcoming decade as well. Time Magazine's man of the decade. Well, readers, it's Eric again. He's so great. She means you're jacked, bro. Oh, I'm not jacked. See, I just have a regular body. Got this belly here. This is where I keep my fat. Right here in my belly. That's in case, I run into any times of famine. I'll be able to live off my fat reserves. But, you know, probably the reason why I'm not jacked is because I don't work out. I don't lift weights. I don't go to the gym. I do some manual labor that involves, lifting. There's my muscle. But, these muscles are for peaceful things, okay? My fists may be classified as deadly weapons, but we'll never find out because I'm a peaceable guy. Obviously, if somebody comes and punches me in the face, I'm going to have to try to fight back. But even then, I'll do my best to not chop their head, slice it right in half like that with my hand, my karate chop, which is known as the best karate chop in all of the 7 nations. And the 7 nations include Korea, South Korea, North Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, the Philippines, and Cambodia slash Laos, which only counts as one country for some reason. Every year they do a karate chop power contest, like whose karate chop is the most powerful. And I always win. I chop down all their houses and everything, wherever they hold it. So get out of here, Asia. I'm the karate chop champion. That's what I tell them. Oh, that coffee is so good. I could just, if I were one of those ancient Romans who got fed grapes, as they lay down on their chaise lounge, instead of getting fed grapes, I'd be spoonfuls of this coffee. That's how good it is. Oh, yeah. Fuck me harder, cup of coffee. I'm loving it, just like McDonald's. What do you mean you can't have sex with a cup of coffee? I wonder if I could have sex with a cup of coffee in my hand. Probably, but I'd end up spilling the coffee. That would be the real challenge, is if I could have sex with a cup of coffee in my hand and not spill any of it. And no, it's cheating to get some kind of lid that closes it tight. That's cheating. Stop being a big cheater, you cheater. Oh, I missed. I have to go over and get it now. That's all right. I'll go get it. I feel like a real country bumpkin today. Almost gonna kind of want to put more concrete. I should probably wait till the existing stuff dries, because I'm gonna need to work off of the foundation of what's there to deal with what's still to come. So I'll do it tomorrow. It doesn't need to be super, super dry. Just overnight dry is fine. It's pretty warm. It's warm like a hug or a sweater. It's warm like my feelings. Better watch out, trouble. Here comes the dog. I'm glad someone's taking the dog out. I'm not sure who it is. But, I'm not sure if that's the same dog or not. I think it is. It looks like the same little car. Well, that must be the children, grandchildren, I don't know. Maybe grandchildren. I think to be like 30. And I think the guy who died was in his 80s. So, anyway, he used to drive that little car around to walk his dog around the block. And when I heard he passed, I felt bad for the dog. I thought, I hope somebody walks it. But these people are doing the same thing he did, driving it around the block, It runs beside the little car. I offered to drive our neighbor home yesterday, and we live right next door, because she was not super steady on her feet, let's put it that way. She definitely would not have passed the field sobriety test. And her driveway is very steep and kind of treacherous to go down, it seems like. But she said, yeah, okay. And then I went to go get the car and she had started walking off. So hopefully she made it home okay. I'm sure she's fine. She's got a real nice dog, Lulu, who's like that dog is living, has lived the ideal dog life, you know. She is the dog of these two people who live up here who walk her off leash all the time. And they used to, I guess when she was younger, drive down Best Road in a Subaru and have Lulu run behind the car to tire her out or beside the car, you know. And you can see the miles that she put on those legs too. And she walks a little stiffly now. She's 12 years old, I guess. But I really appreciate these neighbors. And Jared was talking about introducing me to some guy who's a neighbor who's growing, I guess, Acapulco gold and something else. That'd be cool. I think I've seen him before because he described him. I think I know what he's talking about. And Rachel and I thought maybe we saw the new owners of the house that we used to have down the street. Because we saw a couple people walking down the road we'd not seen before. We waved to them, they did not wave back. And waving is fairly normal around here. So suggest they're either visitors from out of town. I mean, I didn't recognize them. We didn't recognize them, so it's not that big of a neighborhood. We were also dressed up a little bit more than I would have expected for people taking a walk, but I guess maybe they're fancy people. Fancy people like to get dressed up for any occasion. Like they put on a tuxedo before breakfast. MILF Crotch 69. That's a real winner of a name there. It's nobody could accuse it of being excessively subtle. It doesn't try to pussyfoot around what it's saying, you know. Well, that's why I use Summer's Eve by Massengale. Because sometimes I feel not so fresh. It's a real sewer down there, and I need some Summer's Eve. It's good enough for that lady and her daughter riding the yacht. It's good enough for me. Um, yeah. Yeah. I said to Rachel I wanted to go on what? Argilla Cinecore 87. I think I'm gonna make a little video just because it's been a while since I've done a quick recap kind of thing. We wanted to go to on vacation to see Mariposa. Well, we don't have that other house. You got to get out of Jersey, huh? Gil's here to complain about his drugs. I think you should complain about them too, Gil. These drugs aren't for me. I don't like them. Say that. You could try not taking drugs. I have no idea what you're talking about, show media. Nystagmus. Is Fresno nice? You're next to it. Not really. It's uh it's Fresno. It's not as bad as probably its reputation is. No, I don't get it. If it's some reference, I don't know what it's referring to. If all Erics are horny and I'm Eric, am I horny? Yeah. Yes, that is the case. But this fly, it needs to die, of course. But it's gonna be pesky. As soon as I get up to get something to kill it, it's gonna go away from me. I was rhyming talking about drugs that I took from the kids' book, Green Eggs and Ham. Oh. Well, I don't want them. I don't want green eggs and ham. Sam, I am. I do not want them in a car. I do not want them near a bar. I do not want them on your dick. I do not want them on a stick. I would like drugs here or there. I'd like these drugs anywhere. I like the drugs inside a house. I like the drugs on top of a mouse. All of those things and more. I don't want green eggs and ham, but I do want the drugs. Okay, let's see here. All right, hip hop beat. Hey now, everybody. Time for hip hop. What you gonna do when you can't stay stop? You gotta keep going forever, cause that's how you hip and hop right now. I'm a hippin' and hoppin', to and fro, like a Easter bunny rabbit. I gotta go and put eggs everywhere, all around the yard. So when your children come outside, then they can find the eggs when they find them when they go look around in the bushes where I have hidden them. What do you do for Easter time? Is it a time of wafers and wine? Or is it a place of finding those eggs? I don't know where that rabbit hid them this year, but I know they cannot be too far. They are surely near. The year was 1982. I invented no food. It was me. I was out on the street corner in Brooklyn, and I was rapping all about how I was booking a vacation someplace in another nation. But instead, I set off a trend that set the world on fire, and now they call it rap music. All the world's great MCs should give their thanks to me for inventing hip hop, inventing rapping. I also invented singing and also clapping. I invented lots of stuff like the high five and the low five as well, and the high 10 and the low 10, which comprises the quinetry of congratulatory hand stuff. All right. Well, that was great. I hope you enjoyed it. It was like somehow I set a new world record for greatness. Get going. It's Latin. What is this one called? Latin Dance Club or something? Latin Disco. It's called Latin Disco. Welcome to the Latin Disco. disco. Let me see you dance with the Latin flavor. We're going to the Latin disco. We're going to dance in the Latin way. At the Latin disco that we're going to today. I'm going to dance the samba and all tango as well. But I won't do that forbidden dance, or I will go to hell. Well, Latin disco, you were fine, I guess. Saturday night. Let's see. Maybe you came around just about in time for summer. That was when I recalled your name. You were named Sarah, which I thought was kind of a bummer, because I think Sarah is a terrible name. But you put up with my taunting you about your name, and you came around again the next day just the same. So now Sarah, I love you. I love you so much. You remind me of my grandma, though her name was not Sarah. Her name was Lillian instead. But anyway, I always thought that my grandma Lillian was super hot, and that's why you remind me of her today. Won't you be my grandma, I mean my girlfriend? I would surely like that. I bet. Won't you be my grandma, I mean my girlfriend? I think that would be great, in fact. Be my grandma girlfriend today. Hey. Oh, grandma girlfriend, I love you. You're both my grandma and my girlfriend too. You're just as great as grandma ever was. And when Grandma passed that could not be consoled, I was told, hey, it was her time and she was super old. But I love Grandma maybe more than a grandchild should. But if your grandma was as hot as mine, then you totally would. Grandma girlfriend, you're my girlfriend and my grandma. I can't believe you married my granddad the other day. That one's called Girlfriend Grandma. Oh. I'm kind of good at that, yeah. Unfortunately, that's not really anything that's worth being good at, but I'm just still learning how to play the piano, you know. This piano does play itself. That's what I was having to do there. I just push one note and it changes the chord. But, you know, I'm better at making up songs on the guitar because I don't have to know how to play the piano. Like, if I try to play, if I'm playing just without any of that, like, autoplay stuff, beat behind it or whatever, and I want to go from an E major to an A major, I have to, there's a little delay as I process where my fingers are supposed to go. It's kind of annoying. Some chords there's no delay, but some there is. Like piano's kind of different than guitar because different things are harder or easier. Like E flat is always inconvenient to play, no matter what you're doing on the guitar. But it's not inconvenient on the piano at all. It's like, oh, I gotta go up to E flat. I don't have a convenient form of like open chorded E flat that I play, although I'm sure there is no convenient one because of course the bass notes of E and A are not in A flat. E flat, I mean. Anyway. So piano's kind of fun. I mean it's very fun. It's been absolutely delightful having the piano around. Well, an uneventful, what is it, Friday night? I used to eat these different kind of babies. They were dark and chewy. I see. Well, were they babies from Africa? Is that why they were black and chewy? I've heard people from Africa are more chewy than other people. Maybe they're more sinewy. Who knows? I've never eaten any people, but you know, I think we all have probably like gotten a little blood in our mouth and swallowed it, something like that. So it's not true that I've never eaten any people. I've just only eaten myself, I guess. Step away from the baby. Right. Nobody eat any babies around here, okay? Just leave the babies uneaten. You don't always have to eat everything you see. Is that a baby? Yes. Are you gonna finish that? It's not for eating. What do you do with it then? I raise it to be an adult. And then you eat it? Isn't it tougher then? No, I never eat it, okay? It's not an it, it's a she. It's my beautiful baby girl, Deborah. Welcome to raisingbabies.com. I'm Deborah, and this is my, I'm Monica, and this is my beautiful baby girl, Deborah. And together, we can stop baby eating. If you eat babies, you need to stop right now. And if you know someone who eats babies, you need to tell them to stop eating babies. Look how beautiful this baby is. Not beautiful like a turkey sandwich, but like a beautiful baby named Deborah. Now, just think about it. Would you want to be eaten if you were this baby? I'm just gonna take a quick little bite though. Ah! Well, you can't help but eat a little bit of the baby, obviously. Deborah, you'll be fine. It's a small chunk of flesh I took out of you. And I gotta say, mwah, I'm glad I sprinkled salt on you earlier. Just say no to eating babies. Well, Alex Jones is wrong about that. We don't eat any babies around here. Every new video gets uploaded to the eatingbabies.awareness.com. Deborah's got more chunks out of her, and I'm sorry, I just can't stop. This baby's so delicious. I always felt bad eating my chocolate Santa from Grandma. Oh, it's Deborah. Okay. What do you do on a pleasant evening like this? It's like I kind of want to pond more, but I don't want to get dirty again. I have to go shower and change clothes again. I already cleaned up the back patio. That's pretty good. Bro, grandma, girlfriend, I can't stop singing it now. Yeah, well, I'm guessing that the woman to whom that song is directed is not thrilled to be compared to the guy's grandma, but maybe. My ISFJ grandmother had one Easter joke. She would point to the boy bunnies that were all chocolate and say they have more chocolate in Google. Oh, because their genitals are outside their body. Presumably, your grandmother wasn't counting uterus. Like maybe the girl bunny should have more because they have a uterus. In general, it's hard to say who should have more because the girl bunny also has wider hips, but the boy bunny might be overall slightly larger, but it depends. So it's really hard to say which bunny would have greater chocolate mass, assuming they were both constructed anatomically correct. I don't know. It's a mystery. That's why I believe that we should switch from chocolate bunnies to chocolate Jesuses. Women have boobs, right? So, it's hard to say which. Maybe rabbit women don't have boobs. Maybe they just have nipples. I have nipples. They don't really do anything. They're just there for show. They're there to fool babies. They're thinking they can get food from me, but it's like, ha ha ha, nothing's there. You're not gonna get anything out of that, baby. Dumb baby. Look at you being a dumb baby. This baby's so dumb he doesn't even know that my man nipples don't do anything. I had my shirt off earlier after doing some work in the back and was enjoying my male privilege. I can take off my shirt here and, outside, not exactly public, but publicish. And it's fine. I'm just a hardworking man. But if Rachel were to do it, she'd have to be taken immediately to jail. Because obviously, as I told her earlier, them titties are criminal. Them titties is a crime. The very best kind of crime. What's making that squeaky sound? Must be some baby birds, I guess, who just got fed. I'm not really sure though. A lot of birds around here. They fly through the air. But then they land sometimes too. Hi, No Sage. I eat bananas to beat the yeah. I need glasses. Eric once again finds himself bereft of glasses. I would really like to get some ACID, sometimes called acid. I feel very much in the mood to take a hit of acid. Trip out for a long time. You're one of the people that greets me now. I greet you, Fly Guy. I hope I greet you. And this time of the year, there are a bunch of swallows. Swallow this nuts. Okay. Do I have to go to Capistrano to do that? San Juan Capistrano. Destination of swallows everywhere. I think I need to put a couple of suitcases up in the attic. There's a couple things I could do that would be sort of productive. I kind of want to take a colony or half a colony maybe. I need to get a lot of sleep. Say 20 hours. Seems like the right amount. My wife wouldn't be caught dead in spandex. Well, look, there's a deer. Would she be caught alive in spandex? You guys see it? Hi, dear. Nobody's not gonna eat my weed plants. We're gonna have to make sure he doesn't eat the weed plants. There he goes. He went down the hill towards the shed now. Ran away when he heard me going over there. You may not eat the weed, dear. So far, I haven't had any problem with that last year at all, or this year, so maybe they don't like it. Saw a little baby deer the other day with its mom by the side of the road. They're just standing there. It's like, take your baby further away from the road. It's dangerous here. Watch out, trouble. The Difficult Boy of North America. You ever watch Bill Nye the Nature Guy? I don't know if I really ever watched it, but I have seen at least snippets of Bill Nye the Science Guy. Why was Benny's grandson a deer? Because he was made of Benny's son. I don't understand that one. Yes, I've heard the expression to beat the band, meaning like at full blast. Venison. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Thank you, No Sage, for clarifying. I was being a little bit dumb, a little slow on the uptake there. And that's my fault. And I should be severely, severely punished for it. Jesse the Stallion, I'm glad you're not a gelding. I wouldn't want to be a gelding. Sometimes they do that to racehorses in hopes that it's going to make them better racehorses. Even though it seems that they'd be better with their nuts, but who knows? The 2-day psychedelic experience in Orville runs about $1,777. How many comics can you see on your phone at once? like four maybe, 3 or 4. I can see like I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here on the TV. Stallions are too hot-headed and uncontrollable. I see. So that's why they killed them. Ain't this the dude from GTA? I'm not from GTA now. I'm familiar with the franchise, Grand Theft Auto, and its various incarnations, but I've never played it really. And I'm not from it at all, no. I'm from just regular life, my own regular life. That's where I'm from. And it's a pretty special place to be from, you know. Maybe like a song about it, about my special life. My life is special. Not unlike, not unlike the Special Olympics. If you think the regular Olympics are cool, wait till you come and see my school, where I train for the Special Olympics. I'm a special guy. I've got special ways. I'm a gold medal winner at the Special Olympics most every day. When I ride the bus, everyone's impressed. Oh my God, you can do this by yourself. That's a song about my special life, special ways. Hope you enjoyed it. Wow, that was a very nice song. Chapel. Okay, well, here we go. Russ and Steven delight in delivering cheese every day. And the dairy that employs them ensures they earn quite reasonable pay. Russ has cheddar, American, and Swiss too. Russ and Steven are a couple of guys, work at the dairy from 9 to 5. Russ and Steven think they've arrived, they work at the dairy the rest of their lives. Russ and Steven are a couple of guys, work at the dairy from 9 to 5. Russ and Steven think they've arrived, they work at the dairy the rest of their lives. That's enough piano. Had enough piano. My wrists are hurting on my fingers. But doesn't mean I couldn't play a little bit of bass, maybe. Let's see what we got here. Well, that doesn't really sound like garage. What that beat was called Garage 1. This is called Garage 2. What is this? How is this a garage beat? Not that I know what a garage beat is, really, but. Well, that's interesting enough, I guess. Enough piano. Eric. It's time to stop. Time to stop playing the piano. The best American things are made in Japan. You mean like cartoons? The best Japanese things are made in Japan as well. But, you know, not everything in Japan is better. I know that series, Shogun. My mom was into that miniseries way back in the day. I don't know if she read the books or not. But, you know, they're like the enigmatic Asians. What are they thinking? Why are they thinking that? Nobody knows. It's one of history's greatest mysteries, unsolved to this day. Okay, I made a new cup of coffee. It's right here. I'm ready to go have a nice cigarette. But I think maybe I'll hit up Rachel for Kwani first. That sounds simply wonderful. Can we, Mama, can we? Do say we can. Hi, can I get Kwani?
Yes, you can.
Thank you, darling.
I love you.
I love you too. Oh, what fun! Father, did you hear? Mother said we could. Yes, dear, I heard. And Marianne, just where exactly do you imagine us having this picnic? Oh, do say the Conservancy, Father. Oh, do. Blackthorn. It's not a bad word. Yeah. Tell you what else is a good word. A word that sounds like what it means. Plucky. There's a plucky word for you. Is this related to the series? You mean that English girl who is excited about things? Oh, do say. I don't know what she's related to. Maybe nothing. Maybe your mom. Maybe MILF Crutch 69. Could be any number of things. So we're gonna go outside. Like as though we were wild animals. And we didn't have an inside to go. Trouble. Why do you have to sit in the least convenient place ever? Always. I'll tell you why. He doesn't like to be convenient. He likes to be inconvenient. Like having to stop at a sit-down restaurant when you just want to find a drive-thru. We don't do takeout here. You sit down at the table, you wait 30 minutes for your food to get here, and you like it. What does the sign on this restaurant say? What's the name of this restaurant? The worst restaurant in the world? That's right. Don't you come in here with your special orders and take out this and take away that. No. You sit down, I'll get you a bowl of creamed potatoes. Creamed potatoes, huh? I like mashed potatoes? No. Here are your creamed potatoes. Um, can I have some like butter or something? No. Eat it. You want your next course, you better eat that one first. But it's just potato with nothing. I got your glass of water already. You didn't even have to ask. Okay. This is dry. Pour some water on it. Get this, Julianne. Man here says potato too dry for him. What do you think? This is some kind of water park? Potato water park? I don't think so. No, I don't think it's a potato water park. Oh, you think we're some kind of potato Disneyland, huh? No, I don't think that either, actually. I'm loving this potato. I'm sorry I said anything about it. Okay, I'm done now. You gotta eat it all. Well, that's just skin. In fact, almost the whole potato is skin. Ain't no such thing as an all skin potato. That's true, though. There ain't no such thing as an all skin potato. Just a matter, imagine if we were skin all the way down. We wouldn't have any bones or organs. In that case, beauty truly would be skin deep. Well, sit your ass down. Excuse me? I said sit your ass down. You're at the worst restaurant in the world. I'll get you a bowl of ketchup. But not blah, 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 blah. Sit your ass down and wait for your ketchup. I'll be here in 20, 30 minutes. Well, I'm back on the road. Yeah, I just had the strangest lunch. Well, I just had a bowl of ketchup. No, I ate it. I ate the whole thing. It's unbelievable, really, but it was the worst restaurant in the world. I paid $65 for a bowl of ketchup. That is the worst restaurant in the world. Sounds like Las Vegas. Hey, ketchup on the side? Yeah, but it is $65 for ketchup. Yes, that's what Vegas is like. How much is it? I went to the bar. I was like, "Can I get a cup of coffee? Do you sell coffee here?" And they had this Folgers, like you push a button and it squirts out a small cup of coffee. And they said, "Well, yeah, we do sell coffee here, but it's like $10." I was like, "All right, I'll have a $10 cup of coffee," because I didn't want to wait a line in a Starbucks. Or also, I'm sure would have gotten a $10 cup of coffee, but it would have been somewhat larger than the one I got at the bar. But when in Vegas, spend $10 on a cup of coffee, I guess. Still don't have my glasses, of course, because I'm an idiot. Apparently, the lady across the street, she's back home. She got taken away by an ambulance the other night. Kate was telling me she's got 6 kids there. 3 of them are hers, and 3 of them she's fostering, I guess. I don't know. She probably gets money from foster children's services or something. She sounds like I don't hear any crazy children sounds over there. So if they've got 6 kids over there, it's news to me. But I wonder if what happened when she got taken away in the ambulance. Did she just leave the kids there? I don't know. That's right. I know a lot of things, but not that. I know that before you can emerge as the beautiful butterfly you are, you must entomb yourself in a spiritual chrysalis made of mulberry leaves that you chew and then excrete out your butt into a hard casing. It's a bunch of turkeys today, some baby turkeys, big turkeys. That's what I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. That's just a squall. What do they call them? Not squaller jays, but stellar jays. It's just a stellar jay. And by mouth, I mean fingers, my right thumb specifically. Is that what you eat with, your right thumb? That must be convenient. That way you can talk while eating. That bird's upset about something. Hello. How you doing, Unicorn Ninja? The point system does not make me uncomfortable. I just feel conspicuous. What point system? I'm talking about like the number one, number two thing that they do. I mean, I don't even see what I see the number one and number two, but I don't even see what anybody else. I don't know. I don't introduce new things here around YouTube. I just opt into them. If people don't like it, I could probably turn it off. But YouTube will be like, send me an email saying, talking with famous people. You are part of an early test group for this new thing. Do you want to try it? I don't know if that's what they said this time or not, but somehow I opted into something. He was true to his name. Now I'm worried. Fly Guy took my comment seriously. Oh, what did you say, Sean? Fly Guy, I don't think he's that easily offended. What is going on with this bird? Why doesn't it just shut up already? What's it so upset about? They called him a baby and essentially told them to shut up. Well, I guess maybe we'll find out later if he was offended or not. Seems more likely that he would have like timed you out or something if he was offended. Did you tell him to kiss your grits? Because if so, then I understand he'd be offended. Does the point system make you feel uncomfortable, Winston's mom? Coffee. I'm drinking coffee. Yeah, it's cozy. These are cozy sips. As you may know, the coziest sips are made by the rosiest lips. My lips are very rosy. Hi, Mina. The fly guy's right there. He's timing out Mina. So I don't think you need to worry. He's probably fine. Get your dung-eating hands off my ship. You know I don't comment intentionally until the chat is blue and full of mods. I can just stay quiet if you prefer. You do all this typing with one thumb? That's pretty impressive. I type with all my fingers and thumbs with the keyboard. If I have to type on the phone, it's just like torture. You want me to join the army? I don't really want to join the army. But even if I did, I don't think they'd take me. Because I'm 54 years old. They'd probably say, you're too old to join the army. Epic Gaming, hello. I think the army has an age limit, doesn't it, Winston's mom? You probably know that. How epic is your gaming today, Epic Gaming? On a scale of epic to super epic. You're joining the Russian army, Piyush? Well, good for you. I'm not joining the Russian army. I don't side with Russia. I'm an American. I side with America. I'm from America. From California, specifically. I'm guessing 54 is too old for joining the military. Hey there, Army recruiter. I finally got around to it. I've been planning to join the military ever since I turned 17, but I just finally got around to it. So, when do I start basic training? I'm sure they just say, get out of here, old man. Get out of here, Baldy. You're not allowed to join the military. You waited too long. You lost your chance. I should be like, that's ageist. You have to let me be in the military. Yes, tomorrow we're going to see Jared and Kay play music at the park. We're going to the party at the park. It's quite exciting with the party at the park. Yeah, well, I mean, the way it plays is certainly that Trump doesn't want to investigate it because he knows that his name's going to be in those papers and stuff, you know? That's the intuitive leap that one is inclined to make. What's Rachel going to wear to party at the park? I don't know, but I do know the party at the park is quite exciting. No, it's at the park in town, G. It's a outdoor music event that they hold during the summers on Saturdays. And tomorrow, our neighbors are playing. So we want to go support them, be supportive. Like an athletic supporter or a brazier. Well, Trump can plan to sue all he wants, but whether or not he's going to find any traction in American courts is another question. If it's not defamatory, Trump's not going to get anything out of it. And if it is defamatory, well, the Wall Street Journal shouldn't have done that. They're saying he's got ankle swelling and all sorts of Biden type problems. Okay, well, ankle swelling, so what? Who cares? What does that have to do with anything? A skin condition, again, who cares? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, yeah, Kay and Jared are playing. So I'm going to try to get a very good night's sleep tonight, sleeping really late, and then Rachel and I will roll into town, get up in the middle of the afternoon, take an Adderall or two, and roll into town for a pleasant evening of watching the neighbors. And, maybe after they're done playing, go out to dinner with them or something. They speculate he had syphilis. Well, presumably, the progression of the syphilis was arrested before it started to really wreak havoc, because if he were a progressive syphilitic, he would not be. It would be very obvious to everybody. Will I be able to stream from the park? Probably not. The internet in town is pretty spotty. I tried to stream from town before and not been able to, so probably not, but maybe. Well, no matter what kind of delusions Trump embraces, surely he has to understand that he's aging like anybody else will. I do think the Wall Street Journal is being ridiculous in reporting on whether or not they have swollen ankles. It's just silly. Can I show you the Squid Games thing you have? I don't know what you're talking about, Eliana Diaz. I don't have any Squid Games thing, I don't think, that I know of. But maybe give me more cue and I'll remember what you're talking about. The White House announced a medical condition. The Wall Street Journal published the birthday card thing. Oh. No, this isn't from Squid Games. I don't think so. I don't know what it is, actually, but maybe it is, but I've never thought that or heard that before. This is Firecrotch, my bong. Her actual skin color is like this, but she's gotten dark from many bongers worth of use. If I don't rip a fat 20-second hit on that bong, you're scared. Normally, I don't play along with such stuff, but challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. I'm talking about the Baron of Bongs. The big bad big boy of bingers. I'm talking about the lungs of Zeus. Here we go. What in the Cheech and Chong is this, Jared Do? It has nothing to do with Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong, not something that's. Well, Jason Brandt, maybe I underestimated the size of the ball. You're just going to have to be okay with that effort right there. Well, Jason Brand, 1991. Before you feel too pleased with yourself, know that I'm a 54-year-old man who started smoking pot at 14. So I've been smoking weed for 40 years. I've got more bong resin in my little finger than you have accumulated over the whole course of your life. I know, since you were 15. Well, good for you, Jason. And you're still so aggro. It doesn't seem to be working. Are you Zionist, Yehudi, Israel, kill baby, and Gaza Palestine? What? I've I've seen a couple of words from the Quran. You don't want a cookie? I'll take his cookie. Uh, I could go show you my plants, but I just came back inside not that long ago. I'm just letting the benzodiazepine, roll in like the tide. What do I think about the Quran? I think it's dumb. But I also think the Bible's dumb, so I'm Christian, but I think the Bible's dumb. I think the Quran's dumb. I don't think that either of those books represents a meaningful articulation of anything spiritual. What is like eating food while tripping? Is there equivalent to the munchies? No, not really. All the colors are in the alphabet. Are they? Like even blue? Why are we here? What's the point of this life? Well, that's one of the grand cosmological questions that people don't have an answer for. It's conceivable that there might be a meaningful answer that could emerge, which would just push back the grand cosmological questions, I think. For example, if it were to if after death you were to wake up in a simulation pod and realize that you just simulated that life, well, that would answer certain questions about that life you just simulated. Would we just push back the questions of the big cosmological questions to that new universe where you woke up in? I mean, we don't know where we go after death. That's nobody knows um, what happens after death because definitionally, death is something from which you cannot come back and report. So, yeah, nobody knows what happens after death. Where does my information come from? The fact that nobody can report back after death to what death after death is like. So there's no possible way to attain data on what happens to your individual person after death, if anything. No, the Quran. Look, if the because the Quran says something other than what I just said, it's wrong, and I'm not gonna fucking read that garbage because what I just said is correct, right? Nobody knows what happens after death because nobody's ever returned from death. Oh no, oh no. One of my points is to correct people like you in your wrongness. Now you better check that wrongness at the door, mister, because you have a chance here to learn. It's not your chance to evangelize about Islam. It's your chance to learn about where you're wrong. I will see what happens after death. And so will you. You have no more insight into what happens after death than I do. What you have is the wrong kind of conviction, right? Faith is belief in the absence of evidence or in the face of contrary evidence. So it's not anything you should ever advocate other people have the same faith-based frame as you do. That's silly. You're doing it wrong. Allah is pissed off. Muhammad hates you. You're doing it wrong. I mean, Muhammad might like you, but he was an idiot. So I really think this is a simulation. I mean, look at the world and how people are acting up. No, owner, what you want to do is advocate in favor of your magical thinking frame. I have my own magical thinking frame, which is not the same as yours and is preferable to yours. Regardless, you're not going to hear me trying to tell you to adopt my magical thinking frame. Magical thinking frames, by definition, do not universalize. So shut the fuck up already. You can't even begin to engage in this conversation, right? Because you don't even know what I'm saying or what it means because you're so locked into your stupid religious frame. If we see what happens after death, then that means something happens after death that we can potentially observe, that we persist after death at least long enough to perceive or observe something. I live for many different reasons, owner, right? I have close relationships in my life. I have things I enjoy. I have projects I think are important to do. Um, I have things I'm getting better at, hopefully, and maybe someday we'll catch lightning in a bottle with, you know. I've got live streams to make, explanations to do, etc. And yes, I'm a Christian, but that doesn't come into play with into why I exist particularly. Definitive. Hi K, some Liu. I live, smoke joints, and take bongs. Pretty Jessica says hi, Duddy. Am I a Duddy because I'm like a dud dad? Like a firecracker that doesn't light off? Boom, 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 boom. Thanks, Duddy. My wife is in the bedroom, lying on the bed. Last I saw, she was trying on different lipsticks and then blotting them off on her lipstick uh, washcloth. It's like there's one small towel slash big washcloth that she has used to blot off the lipstick from her lips, and it's completely covered in red. It's like there's not any white spots on it left. Yeah, I have a child. She's 26. She lives in Los Angeles. No, pretty Jessica, because she's 26. My 26-year-old daughter does not need a babysitter. I'm not in a bad mood. You Muslims are convinced that after death everyone will see. Well, if you're convinced that after death you will see as well, then that's great. If you're convinced that you already know what's going to happen after death, then you are wrong. And no, it did not put me in a bad mood. I'm just correcting you because I'm good like that. I'm good and righteous like that. And I do the universe and other people the favor of doing my best to excise the wrongness that they bring into the world from the world. It's not a matter of win lose, owner. It's a matter of who's making defensible statements and who's not. I am and you're not. So you're wrong. Because, it's like Superbag. If I live as a Muslim, I have good values, I win. If Allah is truth, I win too. Okay, well, why don't you just go win someplace else? I am not going to be converted to Islam. Obviously, I don't like Islam at all. It There's a persistent expression of it in which Muslim people think their understanding of the sacred should outweigh free expression rights of people. And that's just antithetical to a civilized world, right? That's like pre Enlightenment thinking. So that kind of bullshit makes me go, fuck off, Islam. And I'm correct to do so because you cannot have a free and civil society without freedom of expression taking precedent over some individual's interpretation of what's sacred. And since Islam does not agree with that, and Muslims don't agree with that, then we have no place for it in a good, just society. Julio Ortega, there's actually a player on the Athletics whose name is Nick Kurtz. That's his name. And that's what he goes by, and that's what the announcers call him and everything. He doesn't go by Nicholas or anything. So we do hear that dozens of times this stream. Um, and it's boring, but in this instance, this variant of it is a little bit more interesting because of Kurtz. Well, I'm a Christian too, Smoking Bandit, but my opposition to Islam is not that it's not Christianity. I have much more practical opposition to it because, you know, I I think that freedom of expression is a paramount value, and I I reject the idea that somebody else's faith justifies inhibiting my freedom of expression. No, I'm thinking of others too. I don't particularly want to express myself in ways that Islam finds offensive. I'm not sitting around drawing pictures of Muhammad, but I think that there needs to be universal affirmation that no religion should ever trump freedom of expression because what a given religion thinks is sacred is not ever going to be universally, externally, objectively analyzed for correctness in the way that a universalizable right like freedom of expression should, and freedom of conscience as well. Like, for example, I don't like the Bible either, owner. I'm Christian, but it doesn't mean I think the Bible is good. I think the Bible was written by a bunch of idiots. The Quran was, I guess, written by just one idiot. So maybe you got an advantage there. Regardless, just because idiots wrote those books doesn't mean we have to be idiots about those books. Those books are dumb. Let's just be honest about it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about old religious texts being dumb and written by dumb people. Like, in the Bible, it talks about some group of guys come and taunt the old guy for being bald. Get out of here, Baldy. And then the old guy invokes God's wrath upon him, and God sends bears down to maul all the people who insulted him. I mean, in what universe is that justice at all? It's totally not proportional, etc. So the point is, that's just something that's wrong about the Bible. Quran, I'm sure, has shit tons of wrong stuff as well. But the point is, nothing good ever came of anybody trying to universalize their magical thinking frame. Keep your faith in your faith's pants, right? It doesn't have a place in secular society to evangelize to other people. That's not being a good citizen or a civil member of the internet world. I'm not even talking specific shit like that at all, owner. I'm not talking even I'm not even going to get into any of that shit because both those books are stupid and filled with crazy garbage. What I will tell you about is this: you can keep your religion in the proper place. And that is to say, you should never approach somebody and engage them by immediately trying to proselytize about your religion. That's just dumb. That's like it's deeply offensive, right? The arrogance, the presumptuousness. I don't want to hear what you have to say about Islam. Obviously, I'm 54 years old. The last thing I'm interested in is hearing you preach the virtues of a religion that I see as antithetical to a free and civil society and representative of pre-enlightenment thinking. Fuck no. But you do you. I'm not even telling you not to do you. You'll notice I'm not telling you to be a Christian. I don't roll like that. It's not my business what other people be. Fuck that noise. I do have a song that's called People Aren't Jesus. But after death, you will see. Okay, I guess I'll go to Muslim hell, huh? Oh no! I could have had a heaven full of virgins for a little while till I fucked them all, of course, but, would have been nice while it lasted. I don't want to be burdened with a bunch of virgins. You know, I'd rather stay with Rachel. I'll wait if I have to. It's like if I've got a bunch of virgins in heaven, first of all, how many like 14-year-old girls are dying to produce all of these virgins for you? There must be a lot of them. And then then they only stay virgin. It's like those what are they called? Action figures or whatever that are in the box in mint condition. Once you take them out of the box, they're not mint condition anymore. And that's the way it is with virgins. So even if they give you hundreds of virgins, if you are really into humping them, still might not even last you a year if you have 365 days and you have 360 virgins. You could be left with 360 non-virgins for the rest of eternity. And they just get more and more non-virgin the longer you have them. Plus, I'm guessing you're going to be responsible to take care of them. You have to make them tortillas. They're going to want to go shopping. Um, they're all obviously very young if they're virgins, so you're going to need to give them an allowance, I guess. So, I don't understand how the math works, though, because there's about the same amount of chicks as dudes in the world. So, if every dude's getting more than one virgin, then where are all the extra chicks coming from? They're all 19. Okay. That's good to know. It's legal that way. Okay, well, I still want to know if I get more than one of them, where do the extra women come from? Or do some men get no virgins and that's where the extra ones come from? All it creates just extra virgins. They never even had a body, they just go straight to the afterlife. They're called reward virgins. They spent 19 years in a convent in purgatory, and then they come up to heaven to reward the Muslims. Well, good for you if that's what you're into. If you're into, we're basically homunculi, which, if you're familiar with, is like lumps of clay that get turned into people. Can God make a man deserving of such a big reward that he can't lift all the virgins? It's a great question, Muslim's mom. And the answer is no, but Allah could. Allah creates, Allah admires, Allah delights, and Allah inspires. Allah is a heck of a guy. Come on now, let's have fun with Allah. What's up, Allah? Well, I'll go ahead. I'll go up into the pearly gates, and I'll be like, "Hey, I'm here. Wait, where's Michael?" There's some like Arab guy sitting at the desk. I'm like, "So, what is this?" And he's like, "It's Islam. That's what it is." And I just want to remind you of a gentleman named Oner Yalchin, who told you, he was like, you just wait and see. Well, now you're seeing. Uh, okay, I'm surprised. I admit I'm surprised that it's you guys in charge, but could I still go in? Like, could I talk to Allah? Well, there's quite a long line to talk to Allah. And I think it's fair to point out that obviously Muslims go to the front of the line. And you, let me see here. Christian, huh? Yeah. Didn't someone come through your stream and say one time, do you believe that a man is God? And drive home the point that Jesus was not? Yeah. Why didn't you listen to him? Well, because I thought you knew, Eric. You thought you knew and you thought you knew best. But now look at you. I want to show you the first room you're going to spend some time in. It's called Pork Room. In this room, you are going to spend time with the dead bodies of all the pigs you ate in life. You pork lover. Get in there. Oh, I gotta hang out with all these dead pigs. Okay, boomer. I'm not a boomer, John Stewart. Not that there's anything wrong with being one, but I am not one. I am Gen Z. Okay? I look older than I am, but I'm actually only 23 years old. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. I like long walks on the beach, starry sunset nights, and picnic baskets. Oh no, John Stewart. Maybe you're the boomer. Hi, Matthew Hirsch. New Jersey, huh? I'm from California. I'm enjoying the late night California sunshine. Actually, I'm inside the house. But I wouldn't mind going outside and even potentially walking down to the pond and taking a look at it with a flashlight as I wind down for bed. Make fuel 99 cents a gallon again. Well, I don't know how to do that. I could go to the gas pump and yell at the gas pump and see if I can convince the number to go down on the gas pump. Mr. Ross wants to go. You want to go yell at the gas pumps with me? Probably would be more effective if there were two of us. Oh, you want to go to the pond? Well, let's go. Let's do it. Keep in mind, this is still in progress. It's not going to look all rough and tumble like it does now when it's done, because over the concrete, I'm going to put mortar, which is a lot smoother and stuff, and going to attach the rocks that'll be the actual cover of the thing with the mortar and with some silicone and some caulking. All right, let's go look at the pond. I'm in my flip-flops with no socks, but I kind of terraformed this into a walkable hill with some rocks here and there. I can't even walk it with my flip-flops. All right. So we've got this cemented in pretty good here. I'm going to do this wall over there, right here. The floor is actually done, but I'm going to go give it another coating at the end. And then I will change materials from this rough concrete to something smoother. This is the spillway over here. So I'm going to build that up a little bit right there, such that it's well, I need probably to build this one up higher over here too. I don't know. I'll have to see how. That's a problem. Troubleshoot that. But I've gotten a lot of cementing done, and some of it is just for hill support, so I don't deal with erosion. I'll probably come up here with I'll probably slant that a bit more and give it some hill support there too. So I've got probably another. I got 2 more bags of concrete in the car. That's not going to last very long. It's just like less than 1 hour's of work. That's working super slowly. But that's where we are. So I'm finishing up the concreting stage, and I'll go back over it with mortar and put these flat rocks all over the whole thing. And I'll fill in the gaps with caulking and or silicone. And I should have a nice watertight pond. I've already got the tube set up coming out here into this little catch pool, where I will proceed down into this pool, down into that pool. And I think only that pool is going to be deep enough for any kind of fish or anything. But if I need to lift that up higher, I don't know. I'll troubleshoot this as I go. Just need to do things one step at a time, The initial concreting is step 1. I cleaned off the back patio today. See how clean it is? It was very filthy. And every time I walked in the house from back here, I tracked in shit. Get stuck to my shoes. It's a lovely evening. It's lovely like Sunday morning. So far, I've not seen any sign of any Sasquatches since I've been here. Kinda was holding out some hope for some Sasquatch sightings. Not even a glimmer of Sasquatch have I caught. So, I don't know, maybe they just stay away from here because maybe like marijuana plants are Sasquatch repellent. That's possible. You like listening to frogs? on, kitty. What do you want when you want something, meow? Do you want to go to meowdy meow? Oh, looks pretty good. I think I recognize where that picture is taken on that. I don't really look like me exactly, but Norm MacDonald looks like Norm MacDonald. Norm MacDonald looks more like Norm MacDonald than I look like me. Okay, kitty, will you stop meowing at me? Your endless meows are killing me. Kitty, kitty, kit, what you did. I wonder why you're kitty. No, kitty. Fine. I have no choice but to obey you, I guess. You are such a slave driver. Did you know that? You're a real slave driver. Here he is, a wonderful cat. Say hooray to the wonderful cat. If you like cats that have wonder all the way to full, you're gonna love this cat. Oh yes, I'm getting your furs. Yes, I am. Oh yes, let's get it. Let's get those furs. Oh, look at that. That's a comb full of kitties, what that is. Oh yeah, that's a juicy comb full. That was the name of my band in the 60s. The Juicy Comb Full. Oh, sorry. I guess he didn't like that. But there's a good, like, tangle right there that I wanted to get, you know? It's okay, little kitty. You're okay, and it's alright. And we're gonna be fine. Let's not fight. What a difficult kitty. But also what a good kitty. Yes, Daddy knows. And Daddy loves. And Daddy cares. And Daddy touches. Okay, you don't like that, but listen. If I want to get your hairs, I gotta do it. Alright, fine. Escape with your life. Just trying to groom you. Some people would say that's good cat parenting. You seem to think not so much. You want me to get you fresh water? Here you go. Fresh water for you. I hope you enjoy it. He's what you call a groom-resistant kitty. Okay. I think I'm about ready to wrap up the stream and watch some cartoons before bed. Good night, everybody. Rock and roll.